So let's have another example of hypothesis testing using one sample t-test. Let's have this problem. The manufacturer of Uphone claims that their batteries last for 6 hours, and the freelance researcher tests this claim by obtaining a sample of 20 Uphone batteries and measuring their lifetimes, which are as follows below. So we have it here. What is your conclusion at 0.05 level of significance? So, pause the video and try to answer this problem using one sample t-test if it is really applicable using one sample t-test. So first, let's see if this is really for one sample t-test. And as you might know, our condition is that it should be less than 30. Now, there is some impression that whenever it's less than 30, it's automatic t-test. Actually, that is considered because no matter what, if this sample is less than 30, whether it's normally distributed or not, we can actually use one sample t-test as this somewhat assumes the normal distribution. So it is fine to also use one sample t-test even though it's less than 30 and it's declared to be normally distributed. In this case, our sample is 20, but it doesn't say that the distribution is normal. So since it's 20 and that is less than 30, therefore we will use one sample t-test. So now, we can now go to our different steps. So again, our step 1 is to state our HO and HA. And we start always by taking a look at the claim, which is their batteries last for 6 hours. So that would mean that our mean should be equal to 6 because it's lasting 6 hours. And since it's equality, it will be our null hypothesis that mu is equal to 6. Thus, our alternative, since as you can see in the problem, nothing states about something being bigger or smaller, our alternative is that the mean is not equal to 6. So now we can go to our step 2 and 3. Maybe it's better if we write steps 2 and 3, and that is using data analysis in Excel. But before we do that, remember we have to put in our dummy variables here. So let's go to that. Let's zoom a little bit. There we go. Move. There we go. And we have to input our dummy variables, 2 zeros. So there we go. We have our 2 zeros here just covered by our scribbles. And now that we've got that cleared, it's time now to go to data analysis here. And again, this one here. There you go. The test to sample assuming unequal variances. Just showing that again. Let me click OK. So here, just showing again what we need to do, our variable 1 and 2 and so on. So let's do that. Variable 1 is here. Just select those. Oops. You need to be careful in selecting because if you select something extra, Excel might read it as another data and we don't want that. So here is our second variable, our dummy variable. Our hypothesized mean difference this time is here, so that is 6. Labels, we have our alpha is 0.05. Then we shall put our output here. So we click OK. Then we shall remove our dummy variable column. And this one, I will change this to 1 sample so that it's very clear to us that we're doing 1 sample. So now that we got that in, it's now here are our values and let's take a look. So, since our alternative hypothesis is not equal, that means this test is actually a two-tailed test. So that means we will look at the p-value for two-tailed test. Let's just widen up that one. There we go. Then let's look at P2 tail. Zoom a little bit. Here you go. P2 tail is this one, 0.007. So we need to round it off this one. So now let's do step 4. Our p-value is this one, and that is 0.01 actually, compared to our alpha of 0.05. So here, as you can see, 0.01 is less than 0.05. Therefore, we shall reject our null hypothesis. Therefore, our conclusion is that there is sufficient evidence to reject our null hypothesis. Therefore, what is our conclusion at 0.05 level of significance? The batteries of Uphone do not last for 6 hours. And there we go.